There's still perhaps a couple of things that any one of you forgot, but you're better equipped than you were when you started, limping along at a few hit points with nothing but lint in your pockets. You all have your own goals and aspirations, but individually you can agree that the best thing to do for now is to just sniff around and see what kind of trouble needs aiding, abetting, or negating. One thing that you said that it interests you was just poking around the nearby butcher shop before making your way down to the agrarian district of Sheffield and investigating mysterious disappearing livestock. Willow, you are keeping track of these, I want to say swarms, but it's more like formations of rats that seem to be patrolling the streets looking for something. You guys have so far been able to duck out of their way, but there's a definite perimeter, and as you get to the rim, it's getting pretty tricky to avoid them.
I hummed first. Let's see. What do we want to do here? So we need some gold with these bounties, but if we can't get out of town...
Sorry, my headphones unplugged. I'm so sorry.
This guy.
Okay, so what are we doing here?
The rats. Do we want to deal with them? He said that they're getting increasingly hard to avoid. You said the further out of town we get?
Just there's a perimeter that's a few blocks, and you guys have been able to avoid the perimeter by staying within it. But as you try to leave the perimeter, that's where it starts to get a little tricky.
Yeah, my whole thing last time was we need to just find like the quickest way out of town and get out of it.
Fair enough.
Like, avoid the rats. You guys were trying to fucking walk in front of the rats. My goal is...
Hi, guys!
Yeah, no, my goal is don't let them see us. We need to run.
Okay, I'm good with that. So do we want to, like...
Can I, like, either do investigation or perception on, like, if I notice, like, a way to get, like, out of the... like,
you sure
like,
can.
Town out of the... or road out of the town?
Yeah. Roll the check of your choice.
Yeah. No.
We've also got Aegon's local knowledge. Don't forget about that, Aegon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to ask what the process would look like looking for a different exit.
Looking for a different exit?
Yeah,
roll the check of your choice, and we'll see how this goes. I will say, Fuddle, in rearranging the pieces and connecting some dots about your past and managing to get some geometric formations, the smallest amount of your former formidability, you feel just tingling back into you. There's something coming back. Willow, as you investigate these city rats and all these animals, that their mannerisms are completely alien to you, and you observe their patterns, you think you understand a part of nature that, while contrary to nature, does help you understand the animal world a little bit. And Aegon, you learned that the institution of the guards aren't necessarily as sterling as you've always thought, and you just kind of reevaluate a little bit as you identify your sense of self. You guys are all a little more powerful than when you started.
I would like... Can I try to make a history check on this town to see if I can recall any studies regarding anything about this town that may explain the rats?
Oh, please, by all means. Willow, you try to see if there's any way that... Oh crap. Well, you're trying to see if there's a way to kind of navigate this immediate situation, whether you're going through or over the rats. From what you can tell, again, there's not a lot of nature in their movements. This isn't even training. This is manipulation. Something is going on. The best you can figure out is if you can get to whatever's controlling the rats, you might be able to shut them off, but that might be harder than getting around the rats themselves. Aegon, you know that the streets are actually designed to be easy to patrol so that the guards have a nice, easy time keeping an eye on everything that's going on. These rats are using those official guard walkways. You know that they're probably going to have an easy time spotting it, as the design of the city is literally designed to help keep crime down.
So tell us what you don't know.
see.
You were the one who killed the attendant who was keeping track of the cat pit itself. You watched as he shifted from human to humanoid to barely a humanoid at all.
Mhm.
Not least of all because he had a hole in his chest that you punched in there.
Ear.
This is, you hesitate to say blood magic, but this is some form of animal manipulation in the field of lycanthropy. You'd heard rumors that the Dotopes had some kind of like actual control over the city's rat population. You didn't assume that they were part of it. You're starting to second guess yourself.
Starting to second guess myself that it didn't have anything to do with it. Okay.
Not just that they had nothing to do with it, that they're part of the rat population.
Oh, I get it. It's okay. So my assumption is that these might be rat fuckers or rat people. Gee, that sounded all right. Listen, listen. I apologize. Fuckers that are rats. Okay. I want to kind of gather the gang together, and I do think that there may be more to these rats than we think. Thinking back on it, do you remember that the man that we fought in the cat pit who turned into a rat? This may be
Polly?
maybe more.
I do think it runs a lot deeper than the surface. Is that Australian?
Yeah, you kind of switch gears, but I kind of fuck with it. I kind of fuck with it.
I just do it.
Now it's canon. Elves are Australian.
Yeah, sorry, bud. Sorry, bud. You're Australian.
I cannot. This is gonna be all over the place.
You're like a shapeshifter for voices. You're like those fucking rats, but with your voice. All right. All right. What do we want to do here? We know the source of those rats has to be back in the hatch.
Honestly, I think we still go plan A.
So just get the hell out of here.
Get the fuck out of here. That's all my goal.
Yeah.
Like we can deal with that later if we need to. But...
I think this runs way deeper than what we're capable of handling right now, and we need to go get stronger.
Okay. If
you guys had some method of disguise, rats also aren't terribly smart.
Got you. Also, another question. Aegon, my boy.
Yes, sir.
So you said these rats are patrolling, the equivalent of the patrol routes for the guards in the city?
That is correct.
Would you also happen to know maybe where, for lack of better words, the back roads are through the city and out?
The back roads.
Any alleyways or maybe not sewers? We may find more. Where could we go that isn't a literal guard route?
Let me to think for a moment. It's been a while since I was on my own guard patrols. And do I have to roll something to see if I remember?
Sure, you can roll. History might be a good one, but it's up to you.
Let's see.
Whatever you can spin that's got the best bonus possible. But Nico's got to approve of the check.
You can't be like, can I intimidate the back row?
No.
Can I intimidate myself into remembering?
I
want to intimidate myself into remembering where we go.
I want to make myself high herbalism check.
Yeah.
Okay, I can live with that.
It's not bad.
So, the back roads aren't. You're actually told something to avoid the back road just literally because they're less efficient. But there is one that kind of is a quick shortcut to a not an illegal sport ring, but just kind of a little bit of a cockfighting thing, a little dog racing. It isn't sanctioned, and therefore it's kind of tucked out of the way. Kind of not official channels, but definitely foot traffic has cut through that area. This time of day, it might not be wide open. There might be, some stalls and rain barrels in the way, but you know the way.
You know the way.
Well, Dr. Fuddle, now that I recall, I believe there is one back alley that we might be able to try. But I can't say it's going to be the easiest journey.
Well, easy how?
Well, I'd say it's better than the situation we're in right now, but
Well, that's all I've got.
doesn't have the nicest people, but I think we'll be able to manage.
I think you may be right. Willow, what say you? Do you have any ideas? Any ways we can get out?
I'm not real familiar with this town to know how to get out of here, but I do know they look like they're patrolling, like they're very organized with it. They're probably answering to someone, and I'd rather have more like money and stuff before we deal with them.
Very, very fair.
We should probably go work on those other jobs, and maybe while we're out there, someone might know about what's going on here.
Yes, I agree. But the question is, how do we get out of the city?
I don't know.
Oh, fair.
I'm not familiar with here.
I don't have anything to deceive the rats, so I think keeping our heads down and taking those quote-unquote back alleys are our best shot for the time being. Aegon, if you will be so willing, please, by all means, lead the way.
Gladly. Just stay on my tail.
No, okay.
Okay.
And I was gonna say at a later point in time too, if we come back here and deal with this, I guess that's for another point in time. But I do have the shapeshift now.
Yep.
So I could
You could turn into a rat.
Blend in, yeah. We would just have to be more prepared than we would be now, but...
Well, the problem is, she can turn into a rat, but we can't.
We cannot.
Yeah.
She can go, like, eavesdrop.
Yeah, that
sometime.
would... But yeah. Okay.
What the hell is the fitness grade nature test is a multi-stage heroic event. Oh
This
shit!
gets more difficult as it
We had to do that
continues.
at Tal. Fun fact.
That's right.
Okay, so are we
Okay.
getting out of this town?
Yes.
Yep, I'm going down that
All right.
sus alley.
You guys find the sus alley, and there is a rat or two down there. They're not in any kind of formation. They're kind of just, digging through garbage. Who wants to take the lead on this?
Those
I will.
girls.
I will. I mean,
Also-
that's a little.
I just want to make it a point. Girl Sheldon is still on my shoulder, by the way. I still got my money.
Oh yeah. We returned Sheldon and you kept Girl Sheldon.
Yes, I did.
I was not prepared to bring around an animal. I was getting that one home.
Oh, yeah. All right. Aegon's big, broad shoulders just pushing through the crowd.
Okay. I'll say,
Lack thereof.
Aegon, I'm going to go ahead and roll a quick check against... Well, let's just see how they do.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Let's see.
You know, anything called a kill swarm's gotta be.
Yeah.
You
Let's
think,
go.
but no.
Oh,
Holy
yeah.
shit, these rats are dumb as fuck.
So you guys cut down the back alley, and you catch one of the two of the actual just what I'll call uninvolved rats kind of to the side, and they book it. You see behind your shoulder that there's kind of two kids having an argument about which fictional paladin is the coolest fictional paladin, and they start yelling, and you can see that it's attracting a bit of attention, and it's not anything urgent, but it's certainly enough to help you slip away just a bit. You get the sense that you've broken the perimeter, and that whatever immediate surveillance you guys were under, you're free from. You don't know if it's going to expand.
If it's going to what?
Expand.
Gotcha. Like a child in a busy shopping center, Fuddle has part of Aegon's the cloth portion of his clothing just clutched like a toddler, just scared.
But it's just those two kids as we keep walking down.
Yeah, you guys managed to walk past all of the otherwise very intriguing cockfighting and general like markets, but you just kind of weave right, cut between a couple of stalls, and break into a new city block that you're familiar with. There's it's mostly restaurants here, but you've made it into a completely different part of the city.
I bet we could find Drake at those cockfights. You heard about that, huh? Anyways, not the point. Moving on. Right, so where does that leave us?
Yeah, I think we're still in the city. We're just in a different part of the city.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I got you. So we've made some progress.
Yes.
Hitch it down, everybody. It's scary back here.
Just stay close. We'll get out of here.
How's Girl Sheldon doing?
Girl Sheldon is now under my robes with her head sticking out, neck like under my chin,
Well,
visibly terrified with her paws out.
All right. Do I know where the
Sheldon?
Well, okay. So does that mean we're farther away from the perimeter?
You've broken free of the perimeter. You're outside of it, and you're just in a different part of the city. You are away from that cellar speakeasy where you originally, had that kerfuffle. You're away from that Magic General store.
Got you. So we're basically ops in that hood, as the kids would say. Gotcha.
I'm not a kid. I'm lost.
That's my assumption. So basically, we're not welcome in that area because that's where they got the perimeter with all the little quote unquote rat fuckers.
Do they recognize us from the cat pit thingy, or
once more?
Know? Do they recognize us from the cat pit, or do we not know?
We don't know.
Would the rat people recognize you from the cat pit?
Yeah.
You made physical acquaintance with a few of them. You didn't meet every single person down there, but even though you introduced yourself with fake names, you didn't really introduce yourself with any fake faces. So if the right people got an eyeful of you, they would know who you were. Or at least that you were in the area when, things started exploding and the cats all got out. Also, Frankie died.
Rest in peace, Frankie.
I should say Polly. Polly's the one who died.
Oh. Yeah, keeping with the theme of not
remembers
knowing his name.
I'm the only
Polly's
one who will just be
token
like,
is purple. Tony's is teal. Frankie's is fuchsia, etc.
All right, so we're out of the perimeter. Fuddle kind of wants to take a look around, see if there's anything of note around.
Yeah, I was going to ask if I could just roll a perception check, see if I know any exits.
By all means, the two of you can roll a perception check and let me know what kind of thing you're looking for.
I'm looking for exits. Ooh.
I'm just looking for anything. Fuddle's paranoid. He's looking for anything of note out of the ordinary, really.
Delightful. Fuddle, you see a few things, first and foremost. Like I said, this is mostly a restaurant district, so you can see some pretty upscale cafes and coffee houses, the kind of place where, your average Joes and your well-to-dos start to rub elbows a little bit. You also see, amidst a cafe and a place that does these delightful little plates of tapas, you do see a sign for a butcher shop called the Mediocre. It looks like it's all right, not great. You also, I'll say, notice that there is a guy who seems to be selling lemonade, but he's looking around very shiftily. It's the same guy that you met in the park. He just, he sets up shop in a few different places. Aegon, you are looking for an exit. You eye the traditional guard routes, and you see that the guard routes further away from the perimeter, just to continue around the city, those are clear, and you can still travel on those. And you're still a guard, so you're authorized to use those.
All right, are we letting our guard down now that we're away from the rats gang?
No, I'm still be looking around, but I mean not as worried, but I'm still focused.
Well, are you looking for anything?
I was looking through what I wanted to do. Not just yet.
Okay. This is still a big city. If there's other big city things you need or other supplies you need, now is probably going to be the best time for a while. But also, Aegon, the meaty ogre, as mentioned, is your paranoid fuddled brain does recall that is one of the establishments mentioned in one of the relevant posters that you'd recalled.
That's where it's from. Thank you.
Yeah, I remember us talking about this one before. 'Cause I remember I speak Ogre. One of my languages is Ogre.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Ooh. Oh, gang! I don't know if you're gonna get a better tip off from a DM than that, than a tee-hee. What
So
was
one
it?
of your languages is Ogre?
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, we already used.
Can we get a quick save?
F5.
Yes, thank you. Where is it? Oh, it's the research and recovery. The one with the gym on the screen.
Yeah.
Seek certainty at the mediocre. I love that. Butcher shop in Havenheim, seeking team to explore uncharted caverns.
Wait, 2 questions. Is it daytime or nighttime? Is it daytime or nighttime?
Oh, I'm so sorry. It was morning when you guys were, having all that stuff go down. It's probably about lunchtime right now.
And cantrips can be used whenever, right?
Here?
Cantrips you can use as many times as you want. Just you could do it once per turn, so you can't cast it more often than 6 seconds. Like once every 6 seconds.
What you thinking, Willow?
Nothing. I just.
Oh, okay.
Until it gets a little darker.
Gotcha.
I see.
Okay, y'all want to go to the butcher shop?
I'm thinking about going.
What is
like?
I have food.
Yeah, but this is for a quest that we could pick up.
Which one?
Okay.
Which one is it? Which bounty is it?
The research and recovery. It's like wider than it is long. It's a little chode. It's the darker one.
I was looking for the description.
Yeah, notice research and recovery. Yeah. Is it? Do you guys think it's worth going to talk to Lemonade Larry, or do you think that's just going to be a?
I don't think so.
No, he wasn't really easy to work with the first time.
Fair enough. Yeah. And I've still got one of his magic lemonades that I need to add to my inventory. I forgot about that. Add custom item. I'm just gonna call it suspicious lemonade.
I didn't know you had the power to create items.
Oh yeah, on D&D Beyond,
Adequate.
I can put it just for my own reference. I'm not putting
That's
like
fine.
a description or abilities or anything.
Solid.
Yeah, we going to the butcher shop.
Yeah, let's do it.
Alright.
Puddle has now let go of your robes.
Okay.
You guys make it
Dr.
Wolverine. Sorry.
You guys okay, say your thing.
Dr. Fuddle?
Yes.
Would you mind if I held Girl Sheldon for a little bit?
Well, yes, by all means, here. And he like wrestles her out of the robe. That's already a small robe, and hands her the full-size cat.
It's a little difficult. You think it's a stealth thing. She actually just really likes to be hidden in the robe, so it takes some doing to get her out.
Yep. Here, dear. Yes, here.
Thank you.
Puddle sneezes.
Delightful. You guys make it to the butcher shop, all 3 of you, and it's a pretty nice place. You feel like it's the kind of place that doesn't just do deli meat. You can get whole hunks of stuff, cubes of goat meat. You need like I don't know, a bunch of chicken skin for some reason. It's a catch-all kind of place. Again, it's not perfect. It's not great. It's just pretty good. It has like a little patio area where you can like take a number and wait, but it's not like seated eating. It's a butcher shop. You see a couple of people. Most of them just look like the kinds of people who are running restaurants. They've got aprons. They look like they're a little bit in a hurry, but also they're not too stressed about it. They regard you a little bit.
Can I walk up to if there's like a front desk at where you order or whatever?
There's definitely a front desk where you order. There's what looks like a half orc with a cleaver just going to town on some pig knuckles.
I grabbed Aegon's robes again.
Dr. Fuddle and Willow, stay close once again.
Yes,
And-
you don't have to tell me twice.
I walk up to the main counter and I raise my voice a little. I just go like,
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
is he speaking common tongue?
Yeah. What kind of question is that?
Oh,
Yeah.
Business to
speaking
run, dog.
Yes, sir. I'm looking for an ogre of the name Sardan.
Ogre of the name. So you mean the little guy?
And he just kind of like waves his cleaver off into the corner, and you see about a 2.5 foot tall trench coat figure just kind of like fiddling with something off on his own.
Trench coat, huh? A little rascal situation.
What do we want to do?
Yeah, homie, you're the one clearing your throat to a fucking half-orc, dog. How about you tell us?
Alright, fair. Alrighty, I appreciate your help, sir. And then
So you're not going to buy anything. Right.
well, what do you have to offer?
Oh, we got parts of just about everything. We even got some lamb that just came in. Real tender. Put a little salt on it. Just help keep it last longer.
I
Willow's
see.
just
I
gonna
see.
immediately look towards Dr. Fuddle. I just tried to see if he noticed anything with that. I don't know if you probably need a roll to see.
If I
Caught
notice,
that.
are you
Yeah,
hinting at something, or are you just
yeah.
looking to see?
I heard because so we are going to the farm for
Mm-hmm.
for livestock, and the way he just said that like just rung with the animals love in my heart, and
Oh,
I
I
just want to
see.
look at you just with a look and just see if you like,
Plaintiff.
see if you caught like what my worry is.
Oh, I see what you mean. Fuddle, hearing that, Fuddle kind of raises an eyebrow. I guess, can I roll an investigation check just to see if there's anything that stands out that may link those two things together?
Oh, please do.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, I didn't want to cut you off. I just wanted to
No,
see if
by
you
all means.
noticed.
Fuddle with the investigation. Oh,
Yeah, fuck with you, boy.
Fuddle, you look around, and you're a man of many distracted interests. You see that there are all of these hooks above the counter where like all of these carcasses get hung as they get, sliced and diced. There's like 2 up there tops, and there's like 10 hooks. There's definitely some sort of shortage going on.
Okay. So it doesn't look like it's directly. It doesn't look like there's any foul play here. It looks like they're just suffering from the shortage. So my instinct. Fuddle looks back at Willow and kind of just gives her a dismissive look, like a "don't worry about it" look. Because that's my thinking.
Okay, I'm just gonna look back forward and continue looking at him.
But Fuddle is a foodie, and he wants some lamb.
Delightful.
Yeah, can we see the prices?
Oh, sure. And basically, it's like in terms of like 1 copper, 2 copper. If you want like a nice flank of something, it might be as much as a silver. Again, this isn't the best butcher shop in town. It's fine.
And this is raw meat, right?
This is all raw
They
meat.
don't cook it up or anything. Gotcha.
I mean, some of it's cured. Like they've got some like bacon pork belly, but it's not cooked.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Do you by chance maybe have some jerky?
Jerky. I don't jerk meat around. You know how it is.
No, oh yeah. Okay, fine. I don't think I want to do business here.
Hides behind the cave again.
Yeah, I just slide back. I took 1 step to the right and showed myself, and then took 1 step back to the left.
I
You
appreciate
don't want to
your
talk to
service.
the vendor across the street, Slim Jim. He deals with things like that.
Slim Jim. Oh, thank you. Perfect.
Alrighty, I appreciate your salesmanship, but no lamb for me right now. Thank you, sir.
The little guy that he regarded to in the corner, he goes back up and he like distractedly throws not coins, but what looks like scattered gemstones on the counter. It's like, I would like
Can I get 2 tibias and maybe not a femur, but do you have any 2/3 of a femur? The guy's like, 2/3 of. I'll check. Of what? The tibias I'd like pig, but the 2/3 femur. If you could get deer, specifically the left hind leg of a deer, and he takes bones, he inspects them, he pulls out a little magnifying glass, a little toothbrush. He's like, yes, thank you. Throws an extra scattering of like gemstone gravel on the counter, which the orc's not thrilled with, but hey, it's money. And the strange little man takes these bones and bone fragments. He goes back to his little corner. He takes his toothbrush and he's just like scrubbing away at these butcher bones.
Can I trail the little fella?
You sure can. It's not a huge place. You can see he's got like a big booth table for 8. He doesn't even fill one of these seats. He's a very small gnome. He looks like he's a small gnome who's also thin, who's also wearing big clothes. This is perhaps the gauntest person you've seen in a little bit. And on this big table for a booth of maybe 8 to 10 to 12 people, he has laid out a cartoonish caricature of a humanoid skeleton. Like, it's in the shape of a human skeleton, but the bones look all animal, and they're all like labeled with like Sharpie writing all over them as to like what they're made of and where they should go. And it seems like he's just kind of like scrubbing and cleaning and adjusting and labeling all of these little bones and writing things in his notes.
Guys, I don't want to be that guy, but he might be doing some freaky shit, trying to build like some Frankenstein type stuff. That's my first hunch. And you said he's in a trench coat?
He's on the screen.
I got you. And you said he's how tall?
Gnomes are typically as little as 3 feet. This guy's probably like 2'10". He's a toddler, if not an infant, in like a don't come to school tomorrow garb.
Yeah, got you. Okay, got you. I was now that I know he's just small. I was gonna see about checking to see if there's any little rascal shit going on, but we're good now.
Could you
By the
check
way, while
magic?
we're walking around here, Willow is just kind of not a fan of all the meat hanging around. She understands that food is food for people, and some people eat what they eat. But if she has a choice, she tries not to eat animal. So she's just kind of like walking around a little grossed out.
Fair. What do you think we should do, Aegon? Should we go talk to
I was
this little
thinking,
fucker?
if you want, I don't know if you wanted to like check for magic to see if he is cooking up some Frankenstein stuff, but we can do that like after we talk to him.
Well, it looks like he's just in the phase of collecting it. I don't think he'd do any of that crazy shit just out in the open.
Yeah, that's fair. Would you be able to sense if he is like a magic wielder?
Can I just
I can
see
start.
if
Can I?
notice anything like going on while like they're talking?
You can all check for what you'd like to check. Just roll the applicable rolls, and we'll ask first. But yeah, then roll the applicable rolls, and I'll tell you how things go.
I think I'm gonna. Oh yeah,
or
go ahead.
no, or investigation.
I would like to roll Arcana to see if there is any magic going on in front of us, like in front of our eyes.
Sure, go ahead.
Rather than like my hunch was.
14. Maybe he has like a magic item on him in some place on his person, but there's nothing magical here. This seems purely academic, if not a little rude.
Heard.
Willow, what are you searching for once more?
Well, I'm just kind of walking around looking through everything, and I'm just a little grossed out, but I'm just seeing if I like notice anything like popping out at me.
So one thing you notice with a 24, good glory, a lot of the times you don't know a lot about meat, but you do know a lot about animals. And you see that there's, again, 2 animals, maybe tops, are hanging up. And people will hang up meat for all kinds of reasons, but one is to let the blood drip off, because, you know, that's one thing that you've got to do. You got to get rid of a lot of the blood so that you can eat the meat comfortably. This meat has way less blood than it should. Like, it looks like this meat has been, like, wrung out like a sponge. Like, physically it looks fine, but it's just bloodless. There's
Astarion. That's
So it's just been there for a while, or?
It looks fresh, but dry.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait to
this-
roll. Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Wherever this place is getting its meat from, it seems as if there's a supply problem, and whatever they're shipping out seems affected.
Okay, Fuddle's gonna step out from behind him again and kind of jump up onto the stool in front of the counter so he's more easily seen. Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
By chance, that just a passing glance. No, this no offense to you or your operation you've got here. I love your work. I've heard great things. But one question: why does that meat look so dry yet so fresh?
He's gonna look you up and down a bit. You've been frankly, you've been looking a little dodgy. Like you're trying to do all this stuff unnoticed.
And I see his scrutiny.
What are you, a cop?
No, I'm just an enthusiast, a foodie, if you will. I believe is what the young lads are calling it these days.
Fantastic. Then I'm sure you'll want to buy something.
Oh, absolutely, I'd love to see what you've got. We'll set up camp for the night somewhere, and we'd love to feast.
He takes his big cleaver and just ninja slices one of a paper thin gabagool off of one of these hanging pieces, and he hands you a little scrap. If you want about a pound of that, that'll be about 3 silver. It's the good stuff.
Is this like a free sample he's offering me?
This is a free sample.
Okay, I'm going to strategically hold it up to the light, look at it, take a little sniff from left to right, like a cartoon character,
Mm-hmm. This is like an entire charcuterie board's worth of meat. This is not a small amount. Not the sample, like the amount he's offering.
No, I got you.
Sure.
And I'm gonna touch it to my tongue. And what can I learn by touching it to my tongue in terms of how good this meat is?
Fine, not great. You can tell it's been rolled in peppercorns. It's pretty yummy. A little honey in there, maybe even maple smoked. It's solid meat that'll probably last a while. But
Got you.
there's definitely a distinct lack of any kind of bloodless taste. You've eaten meat in the past. You know what it's supposed to be like. You feel like it's not just dry because it's been treated. It's dry because this meat was processed before it got here.
Gotcha. Well, this is quality. I think I'll take you up. I'll take this arrangement you've got. But I do have the one question just for my own. I've got a sensitive, let's say, stomach and bowel. Just want to make sure everything's all right with said dryness that I mentioned earlier.
He kind of looks left and right, looks back at the meat. I've been asking myself that same question for about a week and a half now.
Oh.
They say that out there in the sticks, they say they've been having some problems. A lot of their food going missing, and that which is left is, let's call it gamey. But
yes.
Gamey's not quite right. I know gamey, and this ain't gamey. And they're charging me the same prices, but this ain't the same product.
Interesting.
I myself don't know too much, but if it keeps up like this, I might even lose a star.
Ooh, that's no good.
That would bring me down to 1.
Yeah, down to 1, you say? Well, that's a big jump. 50% reduction. Yes. Well, like I said, we'll take this little arrangement you've got. It looks, good for what you've got. I can't lie. So yeah, you said 3 silver for the lot.
3 silver for a pound of the good stuff. That's right.
Oh, here you go. And Fuddle reaches into his pouch and just, not maliciously, but just kind of annoyingly flicks 3 silver in quick succession in different directions onto the counter.
And if you want any bones, that will cost extra. I didn't think I'd have to say that, but you know how it is with these weirdos these days.
Oh, yes. Tell me about it. Everywhere I go, it seems like they just don't know what they're talking about. No bones today. No bones day, as the lads would also say. So, yes, just the meat for today. But if this is, if this hits the spot, you can consider me a recurring customer.
He gives you a little nod, a little satisfied nod. People don't give him very many compliments. That was the closest that he's gotten in a while.
The closest thing to a compliment he's gotten. I love it.
I might come back if your stuff is good.
Yeah. If consolation, the environment's quite nice as well.
Well, thank you. I made it myself. He kind of elbows the air in a wheezy grunt.
Yeah. And Fuddle kind of gives him finger guns with a wink, like, yeah.
Nice.
Okay, I would like to approach this little gnome.
Okay. He regards you, kind of takes a double take. He looks you up and down, jots a couple things in his notepad. He actually picks up one of the bones and like compares it to your shin. He goes, I think I'll have to replace durability, flexibility, agility, and temper. Okay. Yes. How can I help you? Are you here about the piano? I'm afraid it's already sold.
Piano? No.
Ivories. Yeah. No. Never mind. Never mind.
I have 3 words for you: research and recovery.
His eyes behind his already magnified goggles like kind of flare up in excitement, and you just get these nice pie plate expressions. Yes, research and recovery. I've been waiting for somebody to come here and saying that. Are you interested in? He does a bunch of little tallies on his fingers. As many as 100,000 copper pieces. As range accepting for give or take 100,000 copper pieces.
100,000 copper pieces. Dr.
Accepting.
Fuddle.
One moment, my boy. I'm crunching.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, that comes out to 1,000 gold pieces.
1,000 gold pieces.
And also, Fuddle's feeding off this energy from little guy, and he's just bouncing excited with him.
The gnome sees Fuddle's particular lankiness and is just super excited to again just pick up like a quick arm bone and just kind of size it up compared to you. You get the idea that he's trying to. This is the bones that he's using to build this human-sized skeleton are way thicker than a human's bones. Anything that would get assembled or animated would be a lot more durable than a regular, pile of human bone skeleton.
Let's see. I wanted to roll an insight check on him specifically to see what his
Give it a go.
In game is, or what his motive is.
Please do.
What does that mean? Oh, okay.
The B. Oh yeah, that's a
22. This guy and Dr. Fuddle are clicking way too much. So I guess the right question is, what's Fuddle's endgame? If there is one, it's probably somewhere in the same wheelhouse. This guy has so much going on. He's got weird chain outlines under his shirt. He's got the bone labels are in 3 different languages, which seems helpful to no one. He's got these weird bulges in his pockets. He's got these massive orange goggles on. If this guy has an endgame, it's probably it's in service of whatever the next ambitious, goofy academic goal is.
Is that a lamb skull in your pocket? Or are you just happy to see me?
It's 2 lamb skulls, and he pulls them out. One of them is from here. I actually got the other from Slim Jim, who actually he doesn't actually sell bones. He gave this to me for free. Can you believe it?
Fuddle just starts dancing, and he slides into the booth next to him and puts his arm around him.
Delightful.
I don't even know.
But research and recovery. He blanks. His eyes kind of drift for a sec. Yes, research and recovery. In Fey Country, in the deep tangled wilds where the maps just don't dare tread, there's a cavern. I've been there myself, where the jewels dance and sing. And I am a bit of an amateur hobbyist, a bit of a raconteurist. I like the very idea of inanimate objects springing to life, and these jewels simply fascinate me. I must examine them for their properties. But I also I've tried this before, and let's just say I had to do some bone replacements. So I just need a little muscle for the bones, so to speak. Yes, I can't pay in advance, but I'm very, very happy to supply a generous 40% to all auxiliary forces that join my expedition. I am so excited. Who all's coming? I'm very... You?
Fuddle's already got his fucking hand in the sky.
Well, it just takes a step closer. Just kind of in acknowledgement.
Nice.
Okay, so it's my friend here, his cat, tall lady. Aegon, he looks at you, and his eyes drift from your sight line to the sword on your back. And he goes, "My word. That. May I please see that?"
Ooh.
What do you do with it?
Oh, I have. He flips through one notebook. The notebook looks like just like a big 2-inch thick table of contents. He digs around his pockets, pulls out a different notebook. I haven't seen one of those in person before. In fact, I'm not even certain if that is what I think it is. But if it is what I think it is, then I think it is a true treasure that I must examine. I barely touch it, feather touch, maybe just a lick it, maybe 2 times.
What do you know about it first?
Well, if what I think is true is I think is true, and I think that what I think is true is true, I think it is one of very few elemental blades. Something that manifests. It basically you take the finest ore from. He just mutters to himself something about planes of existence and ancient sigildry and. You lose track of what he says a few times, but then he kind of just comes back and then the 7th one is actually mist, which is kind of like air and kind of like, but I don't know what you would do with this sort of mist. I tried to hit something that's a mist once and I missed. But anyway, just may I please see?
If you touch this sword and anything happens to it, it'll be the last time you touch anything. As I draw my sword and pretty much lay it out flatly on my 2 hands.
You put your sword on the table. It's yet inert. He kind of, reaches into one of his pockets, pulls out some like lotion, rubs his hands down really quickly, and just runs his fingers over it. That is fascinating. Counts the number of runes on the sword. This isn't an elemental sword. This is multi-mental. Basically, it's made up of a lot of, which doesn't sound interesting. Most things in this world are made up of a lot of, but this is different. But also, it isn't any of them. I recognize this text, but I can't seem to. He like flips the sword kind of vertical, horizontally. Just, where did you get this?
It was a gift from my mother.
Writes something down in a notebook, flips something, writes something down in another notebook, checks the notebook, holds it against the sword, holds a bone against the sword. Don't lose it. He just ponders something for a bit. I think maybe one of these crystals I'm looking for might do something for you.
Really? What is it capable of?
I couldn't possibly speculate as to what specifically. Again, I haven't even seen one of these in person, but if what I think is true about these crystals, why I'm so eager to get my hands on them, the power of animation and just inherent honing cooperation with the powers that be around us, preambulating the very interconnectivity of the realm itself. Again, just goes into what you're pretty sure is just made up words. I think it could be a pretty big deal.
You'll join us, Gnome, and you'll help me find these jewels for my sword.
You'll join me. He just kind of slaps his hands together. All right, when do we leave? He shoves his bones into pocket. More bones than you think should fit into his pockets. And he is still rattling around a lot when he's jumping up and down excitedly. When are we leaving?
Ask you one thing.
Before
Pardon?
we go anywhere, do you mind if I ask you where those bones came from? Sorry if you said I was walking around.
Oh, many of them came from right here. Unless you mean before that. Mammals mostly. I have one very large ostrich femur, which you would not believe how strong ostrich. Everyone always ignores the ostrich femurs, but ostrich femurs are actually quite impressive. Do you have any idea how fast ostriches are?
Yes, I do. They're very fast. It's a weird question, but like, are any of those bones from animals that died on their own.
Like alone or like peacefully in their sleep?
Without someone killing them.
He kind of calls back to Gar, the guy who runs the mediocre. Gar, you killed these, right? He just laughs out loud. He just kind of shrugs back to you. I suppose some of them may have been killed, yes.
Never mind. We can go. I'm just gonna take a step back and wait for everybody to start walking out.
I do have one question for you before we leave.
Lots of questions. I love it. What's up?
Where is this 100,000 copper coming from?
It does a few more tallies. Potential dividend market share values. He kind of pats his. Some of his pockets are full, but all the right pockets are pretty empty.
Insight check.
Go ahead.
Oh. Wait, before you do that, Dr. Fuddle?
Yes. Oops. Yes.
Aegon, do you mind if we just, like, talk about something real quick? It's nothing, like, you know, like, that important, but, like, maybe we could talk alone for, like, a minute?
Yes.
It's about Girl Sheldon. We just gotta talk alone.
Girl Sheldon, yes, my friend. Please excuse us, my friend. We must discuss our next step in this process, if you don't mind, of course.
Nice.
And then Fuddle does the awkward ass shuffle you have to do to get out of a booth.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what is it, my girl?
Do you think that we should be asking for, like, something, like, to start out? Like,
What
like
do you
a
mean?
down payment? This is a pretty big job, and there's a lot of money that we're gonna earn on this, but maybe we should get, like, a down payment to help with our travel?
That's not a bad idea at all. Fuddle kind of looks up at Aegon with that this is going to be a you thing look.
I believe that he said that he's unable to pay in advance. But I will check with him, and I will get
Surely got to be
Surely
got to be something to sweeten the deal.
Even
Yes.
if it's just to hold on to until he does have the money, and then we can give it back. But I don't know if I agree with going on without anything.
I hear that.
Use that big blade of yours, my boy. He knows it's powerful, and maybe that can intimidate him or something.
And I just call out for him. No.
Yes, Sardon Trick or Treat. That's me.
We require a bit of collateral before we join. Before you accompany us on this journey.
Collateral, like insurance.
Either a down payment or something that can ensure us that we're not going into the wilderness blindly here. For nothing.
You know, to like help with our travels and food and lodging and you know.
Fuddle pops in and says, I'm sorry, my friend. You know, it's business.
Again, kind of pats his pockets. I don't suppose you're interested in bones.
Maybe something that like we'll get back to you when you do have the money. But do you have anything that's worth anything?
He pulls out from his pocket what looks like, and it's the same one featured in his character token, what looks like a deep purple stone about the size of a hockey puck. I have this.
What is it?
I'm gonna look towards.
It's a gem that I found in my many. It doesn't sing or dance, mind you, but I'll show it to you guys in just a sec. But it seems to simultaneously be drawing in light and expulsing light as like a bulb.
Gonna do a magic check on that dog.
Who has the higher Arcana?
If y'all, I don't want to spend a spell slot. I'll roll Arcana on it.
No, that's.
Oh yeah, would that be me? I guess.
Well, I mean, I'm
+2.
eyeing it as a magic man. I'm certainly
I
interested in it.
figured. I just
So I'm gonna.
didn't know if I was doing dialogue.
Photo wants to squint his eyes and kind of get a feel for this. Is that all right, Nico? Arcana check.
Please do.
Okay. 12.
12. Okay. Let's do that. Okay. Save changes. Blah. Show players.
Butt plug. Action. Expend
The amulet.
HP.
The Amethyst of Altruism is it's more of a necrotic healing item. Basically, you can take away hit points from yourself and give half of the hit points that you've taken away to a willing creature nearby. It's only attunable to wizards, which don't have very many hit points to begin with.
Yeah. Well, shit. Well, clearly he's hanging on to it, so it means something to him. So I think
It's
we
like
should
because
just.
it's purple, or is he a wizard?
He likes it because it's a magic item. He's useful.
I think it's the purple.
He can use it to heal people around him, but it would be at the expense of his own HP, which is
Oh my
already
god,
pretty-
he's a necromancer, gang.
Oh.
He's a wizard. He's a necromancer wizard, I think.
Would make sense. That would be
Because, like you said, it's necromancy, but also he's building basically Frankenstein over here. Franken animal.
Yep.
It's a human-shaped
can-
skeleton. It's just with much more durable bones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you.
I think that's what we want to hold on to for collateral. Aegon. Actually, I want to whisper to Aegon with message, my cantrip, and basically plant Aegon. Tell him he can have it back after we've completed what he desires.
You will have this gym back after we get what we want. Sound like a plan.
He looks a little hesitant. Would you like to roll a check on that?
Kind of check.
What kind of check do you think would work?
Can I see him hesitating, and then I slowly unsheath my sword and say, "You will." Okay. I unsheath my sword and I say, "You will get this stone back after we get what we want." Then I do an intimidation check on it.
Okay, give me a go on that.
Okay.
He sees your sword. He's really more impressed with the sword than the arm. Sure, I suppose. He kind of chucks it to Fuddle. Let's be honest, you guys don't have long enough sleeves to look like wizards. It's very handy. You need to. The attune word is, again, he just kind of flips through his thing. He hasn't used it in a while. Cranium.
Okay.
Cranium.
Gotcha. For the sake of fairness, I don't think Fuddle's going to attune to it at the moment, but he does slip it into one of his pockets and gives him a reassuring nod from one high energy little fucker to another high energy little fucker.
If you need, we can go. I'm happy to help with a task first. I've prepared for a long journey, so if we need to make a detour, then I can wait here. Whatever you need. I'm very anxious to begin.
I think we let this guy come with us. We can always go back to that little farm bounty and figure that shit out later. Presumably.
This still takes us to the fake.
That's what I was saying. Oh, I was gonna say, if he's willing to go off track, wouldn't he just come with us to the farm?
Because Shuckfield and Fake Country are two different places. They're nearby, but they're different.
But also think about it. Like, we haven't told anybody we're gonna go do this farm shit, and plus, it's 400 gold, presumably, versus the 150. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I say
maybe we
do
can-
the main thing with him, like what he wanted to do, and get a feel for him.
Yeah.
And then decide if we want to ask him to tag along to help us.
After I get my research done, I will be on my way. I have big plans. Big plans. He kind of
Oh,
fondles the chain that's kind of wrapped around under his clothes.
The chain under his clothes. My friend, what is that you're fiddling with?
What is what?
The chain. Hey, I gotta go grab a pizza from outside real quick.
He
2 minutes.
untucks his robes and kind of flattens them over himself, his trench coat. Bones. You probably just saw some bones. Lots of bones. Some of them even mine.
Can I roll to see if I notice that he's like dodging the question?
You can. It'd probably be insight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm coming out right now. Talk about that. Thanks.
Natural 20. How do you want to do this?
Just kind of like focusing on like the way that he's answering. I'm just trying to see if I notice if like his eyes are shifty or if like he's sweating or anything that wouldn't like give the clue that he's telling a lie or.
First off, this is
nervous
not
about
a
something.
this is not a gnome of social graces. He kind of just does whatever and rolls with it.
Mm-hmm.
He is avoiding the question. He's beating around the bush. Also, now that he's carrying himself very deliberately, this isn't like a kid with frogs in his pocket. This is more like a kid with a bunch of textbooks in a backpack. He has a definite weight behind him that he's kind of he's positioning himself to balance. There's something attached to his person that is very heavy on his back.
Excuse me, sir.
Again, Sardon trick or treat, and he tries to shake your hand, but you're very tall compared to him, anyway.
I just want to say we're here to help you, but you're not really answering a lot of questions, and I think that we should be getting to know each other and trust each other if we're going to be going along.
I'm answering all kinds of questions. Like, did you know that if sharks don't continue moving forward, they drown? I think that's very fascinating.
I would like to feel like we can trust you. Otherwise, I am not going to be going along.
He points to the rope amulet around your neck. Fine, if you permit me to answer a question with a question, where did you get that?
That was, which amulet was that again? I have that in my.
Check magical items. It is the amulet of mortality.
Yeah. I got this at one of the shops that we went to in the town. It was a deal that one of the shopkeepers gave me.
Oh, I know. I've seen that amulet before, and haven't seen another like it. I know the shop.
What do you know about it?
I got a great bargain on a very unique item, and frankly, I think it's a little personal. If you'd like to discuss, talk shop a little, then I'd be happy to over a nice campfire once we're on our way. But I think there's plenty of questions I could ask you that you dare not answer. Well, what was your first childhood crush? That's terribly inappropriate, and frankly, I think I'm ashamed for even asking. So there.
Look, sir, all I'm saying is if we try to ask you questions, don't change the subject.
I will do my very best, but you're terribly interesting people.
I'm just gonna.
Okay, do we want to? Oh, wait, Dr. Fuddle, you just you did something right before you left.
He did what?
Said you did something right before you left. The chain on his waist or whatever.
Oh yeah, I was asking about that.
Yeah, and then he rolled a.
Yes, you rolled like a 12.
Yeah, I rolled a. Yeah.
They combined with what you've noticed and what he has said. He went to Idle Hands, the Emporium run by Zachary Blunthorn, before you guys did. That's how he was able to recognize the amulet that Willow bears.
This is probably something that he didn't pay money for. He probably is in some kind of, other form of transaction that he seems satisfied with it. He seems happy that he owns it. He's not like dreading anything, but he doesn't want you to know about it or remark about
The chain?
specifically the whatever weight the chain is linked to. And also, this isn't like a cool like backpack strapped chain. This is like a roller coaster seatbelt on his purse. Like this is solid.
Okay. One moment, please. And I grab both of them by their shoulders, Aegon and Willow, that is, and kind of huddle them together. I say we stick with this character until he gives us reason not to, and if he does give us reason not to, I think we can do our thing, whether that's parting ways or whatever else we have to do. So, I'm down to give it a try, because we can always just not help him at some point.
I must agree.
I don't know
Willow?
how I feel about him, but the money would be nice.
Indeed.
He better have that 100,000 copper on his back. Nobody's weighing him down.
Well, maybe it's who knows, maybe whatever we find. Because the flyer did say 40% of findings will be ours. So I think the hypothetical reward is yet to be found.
We will give him a chance.
Well, it
I
doesn't
concur,
trust
yeah.
him. But she's just gonna go because Aegon and Dr. Fuddle are okay with trusting him. Well, not trusting him, but going with him.
Kind of want.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, well, I guess I'm talking to the gnome now, but I just want him like to walk in front of me. So like after you.
Certainly. He
I kinda
goes
wanna
in
do
front
like
of you. Where are we going? Something about I've got where I want to go, but if we need to like go to the bank first, then by all means.
Out of the butcher shop. That's all for now.
Out of the butcher. My favorite is out of the, and he just he throws more like again essentially gemstone gravel on the table and just anything that needs covering. This should cover it. Sure.
As he's walking in front of me, I kind of want to check out the backpack he just has on his back.
Whatever it is, it's under his trench coat.
It's okay.
So something is chained to his person under his clothes.
Okay.
As
Can I
we're
prepare-
walking out the door, can I blow all the lanterns out? Just because
All the lanterns inside of the butcher shop?
Yes, I'm not trusting of this place, and I'm just doing it to do it.
Give it a go. You can even do a quick performance check just as a catch-all, doing something in a short period of time.
Where's under?
While she's doing that, can I prepare detect magic passively while we're walking?
You sure can.
Wait, because I want to detect whatever he's chained to.
Where does that sit under?
It's charisma.
It's just in your long list of skills. It's down there.
Yeah.
Performance. I hope you don't piss Big Boy off.
Wait, wouldn't it be the cantrip? And then the performance shows how it's done.
You're doing the cantrip, but you're rolling to see how well you do it.
That's what I was
because
wondering.
Your cantrip is to turn off all the lamps, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I misunderstood. I thought you were going to turn off the lamps so that you could do the cantrip.
Oh,
Sure. Is it thaumaturgy? What's the cantrip?
Where are those under? That's what I'm looking for.
Spells.
I misunderstood. That's on me.
No worries.
Control flames.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
I'm just doing it just because I'm a little bitter about the place and I don't trust anyone in there.
You petty motherfuckers.
I just want to do it just to do it as we walk out the door.
Okay.
You really are a bunch of
Oh,
cats.
for goodness sake. You see Gar is like going to collect the gem gravel, and you turn off all the lights. He hits his knee on like one of the chairs. Ah, crap.
Since
Baldo puts his hand
can,
back for a high five.
See in the darkness, she just kind of like scurries towards the front door.
You gonna hit this high five or what?
Oh, yeah.
I did it like
High five.
behind my back.
Oh, yeah. She's gonna high five him and then scurry to the door.
Nice. All right, where are you headed to now?
Say we get out of here still.
We're going to where he wants to
Well,
go.
Yeah, he's presumably we're going to those caves that he's talking about. So,
Delightful.
Aegon, you seem like his keeper. Go ahead and
Give
tell
him
him
a
that shit.
check.
Yeah.
Okay, we would need to rent a wagon as far as Half High Plaza. I don't have a way to get into Fey Country very quickly. Do you guys have a means of transportation? Taxi, magical zoop zoop, bus pass,
I may have some connections.
connections?
Baldo looks at Willow for the
Okay.
tree ship. For that post office tree teleportation ship.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hey,
Oh,
he looks
yeah.
at Willow.
I don't want to use it on him.
Well, we have to use it at some point.
But what
And who's to say that this will be the only one?
It is the only one.
Yes, but Cedric loved us. I mean, I'm sure it wouldn't be hard to get another favor from him, you know. Your call. Your call. It's either spin the gold or we use our free transportation.
Fine.
Pulling up the cost table on transport. Let's see. Goodness. Where'd it go? Goodness, I thought I had it. Drawn vehicles. A wagon is going to cost, let's call it 5 silver a day, and it's going to take you about 5 days to get there a piece.
Oh, it's 5 silver apiece?
5 silver a piece just to get there, but also you need to keep watches. If there's like a path on the left, path on the right, you guys have to choose how to do it. Because our time is so limited, I haven't yet decided exactly how troublesome travel is going to be from spot to spot.
Gotcha.
Willow just kind of looks a little like frustrated and nods.
I would like to point out I am broke, so if anyone needs to pay for me, I'd give you a bill, pat on the, just measures you.
Yes,
We
Half.
should be
We'll
talking
travel-
about this 40%, sir, because if we're going to be paying for your transportation, we need a little bit more out of this, don't we?
41.
50%.
He does like the little collar pull.
Could you do
Wait.
this without us?
Could you do it without me?
We
Well,
don't
we
need
can
to
do a
do it
lot
at all.
without you, but you can't do what you're trying to do without us.
Kind of navigates the grammar of that for a bit. 50%. But huzzah!
Huzzah.
Fuddle puts his hand out for a handshake to seal the deal.
He shakes his hand. His hand is very bony. Most of the gnomes and halflings are pretty plump people. This is a very bony gnome.
Did you want to do that detect magic?
Yeah, whenever that 10 minutes is up, I want to detect whatever's
I would take some
lashed
notes.
onto that bunda of his.
Mm.
Sure.
Yeah, Willow's just
That
gonna
bumble
kind of
clap.
mock his huzzah and step off.
Mm-hmm. So you guys are gonna proceed to like the wagon stuff?
Yep.
Like just the transit areas? Okay, you guys are walking along, and Fuddle, you keep a very deliberate, like 6-pace exact distance behind him.
Mm-hmm.
You get the sense the magic is so distinct you can literally x-ray see the outline. Like this is clearly like for any better word, it is a rib cage. It's about the size of your rib cage, it's about the shape of your rib cage. It appears to be made of bone. You don't know if there's anything in it because the rib cage itself seems to be what's magical. He is carrying on his back a magical rib cage, and there's probably something in it.
But I can't tell what it is. Can I roll Arcana on top of that, maybe? To
Let
try
me quickly double check the exact wording of detect magic as a ritual, and then we'll see from there.
Gotcha.
Detect, because I think it's a low level spell, kind of for a reason. Detect magic. Okay, you sense the presence of magic. You get to see if there's an object that bears magic, and you learn its school of magic. That's already all happened.
Gotcha.
Mm.
But could I, like I said, could I try to roll Arcana now that I've pinpointed it?
Oh yes, you sure can. Give it a go. See if you've heard of anything or if you've seen something like this. You have dealt with a lot of different schools of magic. Necromancy is not one of them. It is. There was a long time ago a big necromantic cataclysm that really soured this continent's view of necromancy for quite a long time. It is not couth to study this. So the fact that it's even necromantic is already pretty shocking. Even Willow's noose, which seems necromantic, is more of like a life enchantment. This is just true necromancy.
Wow. Gotcha.
Also, from what you can tell, this isn't carved from anything yet. This is just a ribcage.
Hey, ribcage. All right, table talk. I would have to guess that this is some like special ribcage that's going to be a part of his final design of whatever the fuck he's necromancing together. Now, whether or not, what's up?
So there might be like a soul or something. Rib cage.
Yeah, just like something to set apart just a sturdy skeleton like Nico was
Mhm.
talking about earlier.
Yeah.
It could add some kind of aspect. I say we keep an eye on this.
Definitely, but I don't think we're gonna get anything out of him.
Well, it depends if we keep trying to get shit out of him, maybe.
Like whenever he like sits and talks at the campfire or whatever. We'll talk to him.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, we can definitely pick his ear.
You guys, it's going to be 5 silver per day a piece. That's 25 silver for each of you. Between the 4 of you, 2.5 gold times 4. It's going to be 10 gold for you guys to get yourselves to Fey Country in a timely manner. It might be safe. It might not.
I love you, bitch.
Okay, do we want to pull that from
I
the
ain't gonna
party
never
gold, or
stop
do
loving
we
you,
just want to
bitch.
cover it ourselves?
How much we got party gold?
55.
We don't use party gold.
Yeah, because we can always add back to that fund.
Yeah.
All right, we're just gonna use party gold. All right. Huddle sporadically. Oh wait, are we at the wagon place?
You are the guy who's kind of the guy who's kind of travel agenting all of the destinations. He's pointing out that there are packages, and you're paying the minute like the get-in fee. But if you want to pay more, you can get more comfortable accommodations. You can get more safely assured that you're going to reach your destination without, the legal term is molestation, but you don't like the way he pronounces the word. In general, you could double it, you could triple it, but you need at least 20, or you need at least 10 gold.
Okay, yeah. Fuddle just plans on sitting on his bedroll, so he's not too worried about
Fine.
being comfortable or anything. Unless you guys want to pitch in some extra
Willow's
gold.
used to being outdoors, so she's fine with sleeping wherever.
But this is below Aegon, huh?
It
With all
is.
your guard rides, your guard whips.
Oh, I got this. Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, what's up, man? We gotta travel all places cornered of the map, except for Wakalock. We don't go there.
You wouldn't happen to offer discounts for the King's Guard, would you?
Nice.
The King's Guard. So, where are you headed to?
Just Fey Country.
They got a king there?
I have no idea.
I thought we were arguing for the discount for this town.
Yeah, for real.
Is this like a rental car we drop
You
off?
get discounts of where you get to. We driving you to the place. So unless you're the king of the tree land, then sit in the wagon. Shut up.
Yeah, the only thing for Fey Country we got is Willow, but she's not a King's Guard there. You could lie about it.
I have.
Lie
Let me
about it.
see something. Yeah, I've
Would
seen
my
Go and
history
breaks
check do
his
anything
neck.
on it?
What's up?
Would my history check do anything for fake country?
It certainly would. You know a lot about the quote unquote politics of fake country. Although food chain might be a little more accurate.
Would that help in this moment to roll that?
Yeah.
You don't know, but your guess is probably not.
But you could lie about being somebody big there.
Yeah.
How many wagon places are around us?
There are a few. This is one of the cheaper ones. You guys really didn't seem to want anything fancy.
Wait, I thought we were using the thing to travel with the mail.
That would be instant and free and very safe.
Yeah,
I thought
that's
you said
what,
you didn't want to do that.
No, I said I was all grumpy about it, but that I said okay. That's why I like kind of stomped off and mocked his huzzah.
Oh, I got you.
And
Final call.
Yeah.
Make it.
let's get out of it. Or we could just we need to go to the post office.
Oh, forgive us. We're not quite ready to head out of town yet, so we might be back. We're gonna also check out some other quotes.
No discount, no customer.
He shrugs. No customer, no fucking getting where you gotta go.
Let's just go.
Slick
All
one,
right.
my boy. Slick.
Wait, is the
No.
post office going to be back in the perimeter?
It is.
Is there a different one?
There are a couple of post offices just stationed to and fro, and you get the idea that, as a male person who delivers to and fro, Cedric will probably be at any of them at any given time.
Let's go to the one that's not in the perimeter.
Probably a good start.
Closest one, please, Mr. DM.
Nice. You go to the closest one that isn't at the perimeter. It is a little busier. You get the idea that this is like one of the ones that has like a coffee shop next to it. So people will you got all these people working on their screenplays, and they're just a bunch of people writing and just shipping things off to these big producers that don't call us, we'll call you. You don't see Cedric off the bat. You see what looks like just this kid in a backwards cap smoking just a fat joint, just kind of sorting letters in a big shelf. He regards you. So, bruh.
Excuse me, my boy.
Excuse you, man.
Yeah, right, yes. Mind if I saw that bird real quick?
He takes it, he hands it to you. Bro, this one's harsh in the gnar. I don't even know what that means.
Wow, that makes two of us. Fuddle just trying to fit in with this cool kid. Just takes a little hit and suppresses his cough as best as he can.
Constitution saving throw.
Ah, shit. Your head explodes.
You're gonna have disadvantage on dexterity saving or just dexterity checks for the next hour.
Gotcha. But I am high, right?
Oh yeah, you're
Alright.
you're like staring at the palms of your hands and the wonders that they seem to now hold.
And he is just giggling nonstop and excuses himself from the conversation and sits in one of the chairs. Assuming there are chairs.
There are benches, and you kind of clear off one of those little coffee things, or someone who looks like they had an empty seat. Like basically, when you're using their urinal right next to someone when there's three perfectly good ones, they just look at you you're a little impolite, but also you're very clearly preoccupied.
Yep. Okay. Well, I did what I needed to do.
You guys ask around for Cedric, and it doesn't take long. Like he'll check in within the hour, and he looks at you guys. Oh, it's wonderful to see you again so soon. Did you need anything mailed? Because I get over the moon. It hasn't been the same. And he just kind of like you feel like he's not supposed to be carrying a cat at his work, but very much like girl Sheldon, regular Sheldon is tucked in a very similar spot, just going around his day.
Well, it just kind of lights up and ignores Cedric and just, ooh, Sheldon, I've missed you.
Sheldon has missed you too. It's a very, very cute cat.
Says Cedric.
Yes.
We would like to be able to travel to the Fey country.
Oh, sure. He checks the timetable. I can get you there in 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Yes.
Dr. Fuddle,
Deal!
how are you feeling, sir?
Oh, aren't I feeling, my boy?
Would you be fit enough to travel with Sir Cedric?
Oh, I'm traveling as we speak. Yes. Why not more?
Thumbs up. Big crooked thumbs up.
I'll make it 19. This seems tricky. He goes about his business, like whistling nonchalantly as if he's not doing anything that he shouldn't be doing. You see him like blip into a tree, blip into a door, just do some paperwork. He comes back. Well, I'm going on my lunch break. I will now go on my lunch break with these people who I eat lunch with regularly. Quick, in here with me. And he just kind of shimmies you into what looks like just a comically thick tree just in the middle of the room.
Willow just kind of follows behind. Yeah. It's so nice to see you, and Sheldon. Just kind of playing along with what he was saying.
He knocks on the tree as if it's a relatively flimsy screen door, and it just kind of spiral splits open. You see like the shimmering of leaves, which is just a beautiful moment, but for him it's just, another part of the job. Yes, the bistro on 7th is really something, and he steps through without any further gesture towards you guys.
Willow just kind of one step follows behind.
Delightful.
You first, Dr. Fuddle. Need to make sure you can walk straight.
Oh, you don't mind. Don't worry about me, my boy.
And he kind of just slumps down against the wall of the trunk.
Oh, okay.
I put Dr. Fuddle on my shoulder.
Carries him on through.
Oh, man, this is nice. We're really traveling already, aren't we?
It doesn't feel like more than a couple of steps. It's deeper than a tree would be, and you guys are walking through what looks like it's just a honeyed void. But you come out the other side of an equally thick tree in a very, very similar looking post office with a completely different sense of space. The air is much sweeter and clearer. You get the little motes of dust and pollen through the air, and there's just a layer of dust and leaves on the ground you just can't seem to get rid of. It's just everywhere. Well, yes, here we are at 7th, and all of the people on the other end of the portal who didn't hear the first half of his excuse look at him like, dude, this isn't the bistro on 7th. What are you talking about? What are you, nuts? My mistake. I should go back to my lunch break. There's a cafe on 7th. My mistake. And Cedric walks back into the portal without explaining who you are or why you are there. Everyone looks at you as if you're slightly out of place, but they look at Willow and they're like, oh, neat intern.
Willow just kind of takes a step in and takes a big breath and sniffs the air and just kind of smiles and is kind of.
These are very corporate druids. They look at how natural your garb is and are like, dude, is she sniffing us? So she's taking like a real deep breath. They just kind of, they get the sense that either what you're doing is rude or that them commenting is rude. So they just kind of direct their attention elsewhere as they go about mailing things.
Yeah, I'm just ignoring them. Happy to be home again.
You guys are in Fey Country. You've used your freebie teleportation. You guys are in Half High Plaza, which is perhaps the most civilized outpost that's kind of on the eastern. Just popping open the lore thing.
Half High Plaza.
Yes, Half High Plaza. It's a lot of short, like, whether it be a fairy person or a gnome or a halfling or just a short human, you do better here if you can kind of duck in the dense undergrowth and canopy. There are tall people and druids and what looks like elves with antlers, but distinct races aren't nearly as common here as just amalgams and just people, wild people.
So they recognize like anything of me being part of like a soldier or guard? Or
you could be a hitman. You could be like a armor collector. That could just be what people wear out there in Glitterchill. They don't know who you are or where you're from. Sardon looks around at some of these druids, and especially the ones with antlers, and it's like, I wonder if those are fused. Ooh. I'd never. Do you think they could headbutt each other? Oh, that's interesting.
What do we want to do, gang?
Oh, we need Sardon to lead us.
Sure. He kind of like licks his finger, sticks it up in the air. I don't know why people do that. I'm gonna need to see a map or a directory. I don't know where this is. I've never been to this.
Licks his finger and sticks it in Aegon's ear. He's still fucking baked, dog. It's only been what, like 30 minutes?
Yep.
Yeah. No.
You let me soar that bird.
Would I have like any kind of pull here at all with my father fighting for?
This is a different part of the region, but you've been around before. Like, this is the mall that you haven't gone into. It's not an actual mall, but like, this is as a mall that you haven't gone into would be in your mind, where you know where everything is in relation to it. You could talk to your dad. You could find some animals. You could probably make your way to the cave, but you know that if the further into unfamiliar territory you get, the weirder and more mischievous things are probably going to get.
Table talk.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to run anything that's just going to wipe us out of the face of the earth.
You mean run anything?
Like, if we go farther into unfamiliar territory, we're going to run into more unpredictable things.
Well, outside of that city we were in, what's predictable? We gotta.
Well, Willow is. This is like her country. This is her place.
Oh, then we shouldn't be limited by the unknown. Then, if we've got at least some knowledge.
I just want to find a way to get stronger before we get in another pickle.
Are there any shops around? Maybe magic shops or maybe magic
There is a little plaza, and kind of in a ring around a fountain that seems to be splurting like rainbow colored fluid. You see a few stalls, and there's one called the Lock Pixies. They sell locks that are particularly hard to pick, things like, foot lockers, purses. Just if you want to have something that's hard for a rogue to get into, they're the Lock Pixies. There's a place that sells, dream catchers, things made of hemp. There's someone who has just flat out bear traps, but whatever there's trap, it's way bigger than a bear. Just massive, massive iron jaws.
Fuddle's ready to adventure, but if you guys have anything y'all want to go after,
I'm down to adventure.
it's like I said, we can always turn back. Willow, what do you think? You're the expert here, the local.
No, she's ready to go around the town.
Nice. All right. As you guys go around the town, Willow, you really get your bearings. You have a sense of where you are and where to head to. There is a split in the road that leads out of town. There's one that's to the left, leading north, one that's going straight, leading more to the east, and one that goes to the right that leads more down south. As far as you can tell, you want the one that leads up, not all the way to the swamp, but in that direction. There's the Bloodstone Depths, which they're basically caverns that don't have a lot of plant or animal life, so it's not something the druids like to encroach upon. It's definitely a mineral type territory. If you wanted to look for dancing, singing crystals, that's the first place that you would look if you weren't crazy. Or if you were crazy, I should say.
Do we want to go towards the cave?
There are other options. You could check in. If you go straight, you know that there's a ravine where your fairy dragon friends like to hang out, the ones that have taught you a thing or two about the forest. They might help you navigate or see what else is in the area. And if you go down, there's a dryad encampment. There's been a bit of a scuffle between the flora and fauna of Fey Country. The balance has been a bit upset. And just the dryads who, used to be, saucy naked tree ladies. Now they're much more militaristic scouts that get a little touchy when something made of meat goes a little too far into their woods.
Dr. Photo Aegon, gnome guy.
Sardon, yes.
Do you guys mind if we maybe take a quick trip to go see my family before we get started?
No resistance from me.
Yeah, of course. Family's important.
As the lads also say, fuck it.
Willa just kind of perks up a little bit from her grumpiness about using the mail free ride and takes the path towards where she knows that her family used to hang out whenever she was here.
Awesome. It doesn't take you a super long time to get out there. You know the way, and what's more important, you know the safe way. It brings you to a series of these impossibly thick trees that people seem to have not carved into so much as like molded and encouraged to grow, so that you can have kind of a 3-level studio type deal where people are just kind of living amongst the trees. You can see that people have furniture and bridges and just infrastructure that's made of woven bamboo that like grows into very useful shapes, or at least very aesthetically pleasing ones. Everything, instead of being hewn from metal or stone or mortar, it's all plant life. It's all lichens and bamboos and money trees.
Willa just kind of throws her hand out and just kind of brushes it alongside one of the trees next to her and just kind of taking everything in, all happy.
Mm-hmm. You know that, first off, that one of your parents isn't going to be home. It just you can go to your house and see what you can find there, but your parent will probably, your one surviving parent will probably be out and abroad.
The investigation.
Go for it.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh.
Oh no.
Okay, going back to the thing. It's been a long time since you've been home. You have an idea of what kind of goodness. You have an idea of what kind of your mom is still alive, correct?
No.
Your dad
That's
is still
why,
alive?
No. My parents were both dead. Then I was
I see,
found
that's
by
right.
the dragon.
Okay. The dragon community that you're trying to find that hangs out not far from here in the ravine, you get an idea of where they hang out, but also you get the idea that they spend a lot of their time invisible. They spend a lot of their time playing tricks. Even if you announce yourself pretty clearly, you're probably going to get pranked on before... I don't even know what the song is.
What was that song that played like 2 weeks ago that was just like
no.
It was like Proud to Be an American.
Yeah, that's right. That shit was so funny, dog.
Let's just do that one again. Oh, dang it, didn't do the
Proud
same.
to be American again?
No, it's I hit the thing, but I don't like the music. But okay, there it goes.
Oh, man.
You can go out and you'll probably get mad pranked before you see them, not after, but that's a risk you might want to take.
So knowing how they are, I just kind of grab at one of the daggers on me and I start to get low down and kind of hide behind some bushes and just keep jumping around looking, kind of just looking to see if I can find them at all.
Nice. You keep an eye out and you know the clearings that they like to frequent. You see a badger just going about its day. Usually it sticks to its hole based on what you know about badgers, but at this time it's, going around looking for maybe some fresh water. You see the badger is instantly turned into a giraffe right before your eyes. Just poof, it's a very confused giraffe, and you hear these little cacklings in the foliage all around as the giraffe tries to make sense of why on earth it's so tall all of a sudden.
Do I know that would be them? Or what that would be, actually?
That's definitely going to be the work of probably one of the eldest, which eldest in this instance would mean perhaps even more mischievous than the younger ones. That is definitely fairy dragon garbage. They like to polymorph things at random just for fun.
Okay, so just that's right in front of me, right?
You just watched a badger just transform into a giraffe and just look very surprised and a little annoyed.
Can I
but
try
also
to
as a giraffe.
roll backwards and see if I can get some distance between me and the giraffe while just laughing?
Sure, you do so, and you're clearly in on the joke. But the fairy dragon presence that seems to have been focused on the giraffe, you hear the chatter stops as you make some noises in the underbrush. Are Aegon and Willow, Aegon and
yeah, I just kind of scurried off from them.
I see.
I mean, they could have followed me, I don't know, but I kind of giggled and went looking around knowing that they'd be sneaky, so I tried to be sneaky first.
Something you know about fairy dragons, just this is a very pretty basic concept of their anatomy. The younger ones are red, and then as they get older, they progress down the rainbow and get more and more powerful, from like orange to yellow, etc.
Wow.
So one of the youngest, most reckless ones kind of approaches you and just kind of makes little snapping noises. This one is so young, it may or may not have even met you. It may have been introduced to the environment after you went off on your own.
Is he like? Are they talking to me, or are they like?
Oh, he's investigating. He's not saying a thing. He's just kind of poking and prodding. What's your response to a probing young fairy dragon?
I'm just gonna kind of stop running around, just kind of look over towards him and.
Hey, do you know where my parents would be?
Alright. He throws what looks like a blue little dragon, looks like a rubber duck, but like a blue dragon, just kind of throws on the floor out of nowhere.
Oh.
Ah!
What is that?
What is that?
What are you doing?
Sorry, I'm messing with you. You gotta be more specific.
My family. I was looking around for them, and then all of a sudden there's a badger that was a giraffe. Do you know if that
Family? I was looking around for them all of a sudden, and then there's a giraffe.
Do you know if it's them?
Do you know it? Do you?
What? Stop.
What? Stop.
Willow just kind of grabs at the dagger on her hip and just kind of steps forward. Just tell me where they are.
I'm gonna need you to roll a quick strength check.
You said strength?
Mm-hmm.
There it is.
Oh, this is a decent time to tell you. Fuddle, I changed Mage Hand. It might be to your preference, it might not be. I'm throwing it, I'm gonna summon a big old token of it. But I was trying to, as part of my, there you go.
Oh,
Nice.
fancy.
Very fancy.
Willow, you see a spectral blue hand with like big draconic fingernails comes and tries to clutch at your knife and tries to pull it away. It doesn't work. You have a good grip on it. This thing is definitely screwing with you. It does know who you're talking about. It just isn't trying to be very helpful.
Willow's just gonna kind of straighten up, not really joking around anymore. Just, it's fine.
Real quick, the dragon itself, the poofs. I'm just gonna do a quick little wisdom check on my part. I'm gonna do a 3, or that's a 2, but that's fine. The dragon that's screwing with you gets turned into a star-nosed mole, and it just protests a little bit before a very familiar blue fairy dragon just kind of flutters down on very velvety butterfly wings, perches on a branch,
Long time no see. What brings you back to our neck of the woods?
I'm so happy to see you. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Dr. Fuddle, Aegon.
Yes.
Wow. And Sardon comes up very enthusiastically, starts like waggling a bone to start measuring the fairy dragon. And the fairy dragon, the blue one and the star-nosed mole one, glare their eyes at him a little hostilely. There's something up with him that they just don't like the smell of. You brought so many people. Wow. Welcome to here, I guess. Thanks for asking.
I'm sorry, guys, but we're here on, like business stuff. We're here to fix some stuff, I've been away a long time, and I recently met Aegon and Dr. Fuddle here, and we're doing some jobs right now.
And me? They met me like 2 hours ago, really.
And Fuddle reached down and kind of smack him in the back of the head.
Go for it. You don't even get a check for it.
Yeah.
Willis just kind of glances at him and then looks back at them and kind of.
I'm just happy to be included.
He slaps him again on the back of the head.
And him. But I wanted to stop by and see you guys before we went off and did that. I'm sorry to drop by.
Well, I suppose no time like the present, and it is always the present, so it is appreciated. Well, is there something we can do for you? Because in our experience, there's always something your hands are a little stuck into.
Well, I wasn't really looking for anything from you guys, but I was just coming to see how.
Oh well, that's wonderful. They just the blue one just kind of materializes a little strawberry tart just kind of on your shoulder. Well, you look like you're eating well, but there's always room for the little food groups, the berries, sweets, and small insects. They're just treat yourself every now and then.
Yeah.
Well, not much news has been around here. I'm afraid there's been obviously the trees have been grumbling again, but there's no Lorax to tell them what to do. So what do you expect? Generally, fine. No unpleasant tragedies. Just the same rumbling. The red caps have been up to no good, but we always steer clear of them.
What do you mean? What's been going on there?
Oh, he just kind of puts a little claw on his forehead. The red cap. So you're familiar, are you not? And do you want to roll a check to see if you recall?
Yeah. Insight.
Insight might work, but history would also work about as well.
Okay.
I'm checking my. Sorry, sneeze. Yeah. So the red caps are a denizen of partially of unsteely things like the forest of Murklock. There are plenty in Fey country as well. They look like little gnomes, but they're these scratchy, nasty little beings that like to essentially just be as brutal as possible. They thrive and survive off of keeping their hats dipped in freshly spilled blood. And that tells you most of what you need to know about their agenda. If there is an increase in activity, it's probably spready, violent, growly activity.
So just there for fuckery?
They're there, yeah, but they're also on the move, so you might want to keep an eye out.
Okay. Well, I guess I'm not really sure what the job is that we're needing to do here, but I will keep an eye out.
Sardon peeks a little bit, and he just looks at Fuddle's hand, looks at Aegon's sword. Actually, we need to get to, he flips through things. Rocks. We need to find some rocks, the inanimate and animate, and perhaps doubly inanimate, looking for the ruby, sapphire, that kind of thing. The mineral deposits that I believe are subterraneous in the sense that the below the dermal, the dragon is just kind of
slaps him in the back of the head again and says, "We're looking for a cave."
Yes, a cave. That's the word escaped me. Sorry.
Yes, we know the cave that you're probably looking for, dancing, singing rocks, that kind of thing. They're not fun songs, and they're certainly not fun dances. You will want to watch yourself. You're going to... How much time do you have? Because there's the direct route, and then there's the fast route.
Willow just kind of looks back towards them. Are we in a rush, guys?
Well, you're the local. I don't know.
Well, do we need to hurry? Do we got to do this job fast, or do we want to go the
Well, I
shorter
think
route?
that's dependent on our little friend here.
He shrugs. People don't usually talk to me for this long. This can take all day. I bet we can do this for months. You guys have an extra bedroll, right? I can just double up with one of you.
Unironically, I do actually have an extra bedroll that I did not account for.
He puts up his hand for a high five.
Buttle gives it to him because that is his motherfucking boy. I can't lie.
So would these be the same
Yeah.
people that her parents fought for trying to kind of take over the area?
Your parents have kept the peace from a lot of places. The Redcaps are among them, the Dryads sometimes. The Rocks stay in the cave, and no one dares go in the cave.
Okay. Okay, I wasn't sure if I would.
There
have
are
anything
dangers
against
roaming
them.
and shifting and ancient between here and there, and you get to choose which ones you want to probably have the chance of coming across. But you're going to have to face a couple of things. Depends on how much time you want to spend in Fey Country chasing down these rocks.
So I would say to go the slower route, just because if we go the faster route, it's probably gonna be hardcore on us.
Well, let's see.
Well, you can then cut through the territory of the littlest fairies, the pixies and sprites and such. They're going to demand tribute, and it's going to be a hassle, but it's probably going to be a safe, surefire, probably slow path. I can't imagine what they're going to ask of you. It might be very tedious. It might be writing slam poetry. It might be killing someone. You can really, really, really never tell.
What do you guys think?
Well, that sounds fine to me.
There's also the trolls. That's the other path. They like to nest. Probably safe to travel during the day. They don't like the sunshine. They don't like bright flames or anything like that. But if they catch you, frankly, it's going to be even more dangerous than the cave.
Well, how long does it take to get...
Trolls like to live in very swampy, boggy areas. It's going to be much faster, much slower travel, but even though it is more direct. Basically, Willow, honey, you cannot fly, right?
No.
Let me check super quick if they can cast flight. They can't. Sorry about that. They just shake their head. There's nothing we can do about that, I'm afraid. Unfortunately, you weren't born with wings.
Well,
Wait a second. Violet, only the purple fairy dragons can cast polymorph, and this one just spent it to turn the red one into a mole, and her mate just used it to turn the badger into a giraffe. If you wait until tomorrow, we could transform two of you into something that can fly. I don't know if that's helpful.
Well, it just kind of perks up and gets all excited because she's ridden basically on her dragon family before when she was growing up with them. Just kind of gets excited at the thought of being able to fly again. And
Worth
especially
noting,
on her own.
these fairy dragons that you're familiar with are all cat-sized. Specifically, this group, fairy dragons, that the kind of dragon that hang out in this biome
And
are.
made them turning stuff into stuff that fly, and then we would go out flying.
Yep,
So-
that tracks.
So we're just kind of excited to be able to get back up in the air again.
What can we get turned into?
Oh, I can turn you into all kinds of things that exist and things that don't.
Ooh, large enough to maybe carry a fourth person. notioning towards Sardon.
Maybe. That maybe is where I'll end it. It's 9:02. I am real excited to see how Fuddle's flight school goes, if that's the path we're going to take to get... Because if you fly directly over the swamp, it won't take that long. You can just get straight to the cave, as opposed to dealing with all the fairies garbage.
It's party tonight.
Real exciting stuff. Before I snip off, I'm just going to quickly flip to the
Puzzle?
conundrum. No worries if no one touches it, but so far all you've determined is that the same 7 shapes must be incorporated into every symbol.
Oh, so also each puzzle can only use one shape. Is that what you're saying?
Each form, each symbol will use the same 7 shapes as all of the other symbols.
Okay, I got you. I think I know what you're saying now.
Okay, I'm gonna turn off Pancake, the music bot, and be on the way. But you guys are awesome. I really appreciate just the involvement. It's excellent.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for all the work you're putting in, man.
No worries. It's delightful. I'll see you guys next week. Have a wonderful time.
Yes, sir. You as well. I understand what he's talking about now, though. That's dope. I'm happy now. Do you understand what he means by the same 7 shapes?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.